Hello, everyone. Adam here from Three Count Radio, and today I have the Notorious Angel Amber Joe. How you doing?
I'm on a whole new high right now. I'm very good. How are you?
I'm glad to hear it. I'm fantastic, thank you. Fantastic. But a good day so far. Busy one, but yeah, I'm good.
It's good to hear. Same here.
Now, for a short time, if you're on Twitter and everything, you've been quite busy. I've seen you've had quite a few podcasts this year already. You've been busy getting the name out there, and that's really great. That's fantastic.
Yeah, promotions, like self promotion as well, is very important, especially in this business as well. So
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%, yeah.
I'm very active.
That's great though. I'm not on Twitter too often. I should probably be a bit more active, but yeah, it's one of those things. But it's great though because especially when you're a new upcoming star, things like self promotion, it's only gonna help. Done right, it's only gonna help.
Mm.
So where did the nickname Notorious Angel originate? Where did that come from?
So my original my original idea was to be called the Apex Angel,
Hmm.
because I'm a predator, like in the ring. Had to phrase that one right. Um, don't want all these snowflakes being like, right,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm a beast. Okay, that's what I mean. So I'm a beast, and then someone was just like, no, no, it's the apex angel is way too much like like the viper Randy Orton, like the apex.
Mm.
And I thought, okay, okay. So then they were talking about, oh, why do you want to call yourself an angel? And I was just like, well, one, I'm a bit of a Christian, so I'm an angel, but also I like the whole idea to call myself an angel when in fact I'm a hill. So like, if you see on Twitter, I call myself the angel with the devil's attitude, and so
Hmm.
um, someone was like discussing about the fallen angels and how they were very notorious for betraying God. And I was like, oh, that's a nice word. What does it mean? And it's like someone famous for the wrong reasons. And I was like, the notorious angel. And then it just went, that's what I am. I'm a famous angel for the wrong reasons. And so my name clicked. And it's just like, I can't remember. I think it was like Dan McGee
Oh.
that I was having. I can't remember. It was so long ago.
I mean, it works. It works, especially in the world of wrestling as well, because I think it's a very niche sort of like environment, wrestling, where it's kind of like it's accepted to beat the shit out of people. That's
Yeah,
accepted. It's like that's the thing. So yeah, it's very
that's
niche,
what I
but
love about it.
there you go. Exactly. It's great. It's absolutely great. But yeah, the Notorious part does work brilliantly. Like
And it looks good on my bum. Like the word, the word looks good on my gear on the back of my bum, so it's great. If it
didn't
was just
expect
there in
that.
bold, right?
I'll take your word for it. So, being a transgender wrestler, of course, that must come with a hell of my lighting. This is a theme in my videos. My lighting's terrible. I do apologize. I thought I had it right. It's not. I apologize. But it must come with an insane amount of pride, being proud transgender in and ever more and more accepting world than it was even a few years ago now. Like we seem to be moving in the right direction, which is fantastic. So how does it feel for you, like being in that
I
position?
mean, it's a wise man once said, and I'm gonna quote him here. It's to not count on being trans for the reason like to be so good. You know, be so good because you're the best. Don't strive to be the best transgender wrestler. Just strive to be the best wrestler. And so, to me, I'm just a wrestler who happens to be trans. Um, but I don't shy away from that. I mean, it's I speak out very publicly about my transition. I wear the colors on my ring gear, and I have my nails painted with a trans flag. But it's so when I read these articles, like the Outsports article that was just released yesterday, to be called a trans trailblazer in professional wrestling, especially at such like not even on the peak of my career. I've had 3 matches because of COVID. It was heartwarming, and I was like, I'm going to inspire people. And so I wear it with a lot of pride because I see like trans men and trans women that are into professional wrestling that especially in the UK that didn't have someone to look up to,
Mm-hmm.
didn't have a big name like Nyla Rose. And I mean, without sounding so big-headed, it's like I'm on that fast track, like very quick. Um, I spoke to a lot of people and they were like, "You're one of like there are a few trans girls that wrestle, but I'm the trans name that everyone's talking about because I don't, not just no one's dissing these women because without them I wouldn't be here. But I'm someone that's very proud of who I am, and so I see that I hope a lot of people can look up to that and take inspiration that just because I'm a trans girl, just because I have autism or whatever, doesn't mean that I can't be who I want to be, do what I want to do, and succeed.
Perfectly
I'm
put.
a girl that I'm a girl that knows what she wants and knows how to get it.
Brilliant. And those types of women can be quite intimidating to men as well. It's absolutely fantastic. It really is. And one of the great things about it is that one person who could be struggling inside, not knowing how to come to terms with what's going on. And one person could see you or see neither of those and think, right, they can do it. Or they
Hmm.
can see someone like Sonia Deville in the LGBT community and think,
Yeah.
well, there you go. And it's such a powerful message to send across.
I've had quite a few young trans women approach me, and they've been so scared to go and train. And then they've read about my articles and what I'm doing. Um, and they messaged me and they was like, just thank you for being yourself and telling us that we can do this too. They thought it was only something that was acceptable in the States. Because, in my other interview with a dear son put it, the UK is becoming a tough country, with all this BBC media and stuff. A lot of the trans community are being very targeted right now. And so I really hope doing this, pushing who I am, like not exactly shoving it in people's faces, but doing it respectfully, respectfully shoving it in their face, showing that we're not going to back down. We're just going to keep doing what we're going to do. I really hope that that's going to inspire a lot of people, and I'm really glad that these people have stood up and these girls have now started training. One of my dear friends has just had her first gear made, and she's absolutely excited to be wearing it. And I'm just like, I'm like a proud mum,
Mhm.
even though I'm only 23.
It's brilliant. It's so good. I was talking to my mum about this the other day. It was early this morning. I was going to the train station for training, and I just said like, who are we to judge? Who are we to say, oh, that's wrong, that's right, that's wrong?
Hmm.
Who who am I? No one. Who am I to say that? What? Like, who cares? That if someone isn't physically hurting you or going out their way to get at you, leave them. Leave them to do what they want to do. If they're not hurting you, let them live their life. It makes no sense how, especially people in power, like the BBC, who can use media
Yeah,
and manipulate people, manipulate those who are able to get manipulated by the BBC
it's
anyway.
like that Lily, um, if I remember her name. Don't even want to remember her name, but the lesbian porn star, a lesbian. Let's face that. Um, just expressing how we should be lynched, how we should all be killed and executed. Someone part of that community, like our community, is just like, and I used like I was in the interview the other day, and someone was like, "How would you describe her?" And I said, "A female Hitler." Because that's how it's going. That's how she is sounding. She is sounding like a female Hitler, and you know the trans community are the targets, and it's disgraceful. It's disgusting, and a lot of the targets are actually trans kids, um, which is even more sick because they're not doing anything wrong. They're just trying to express who they are. So we shouldn't judge. I don't.
It's it's unfathomable that someone would say that. That's the thing. Like you will get people go, "Oh, Hitler, oh, come on, it's a bit of a," but no, like the ideal is there. Like she might not have the
Mm,
power in order to
I've
do
put,
such a thing, but
people would tell me,
it's that up there. The ideal is
yeah,
there.
people would say comparing this woman to Hitler is a extreme.
Vile. What's
But
that?
if
I
you
didn't know
read
that.
the things she has said, it's yeah,
I didn't know that.
demanding that we get beat up in public, like expressing that it's okay to do it.
A member of the LGBT community as well. Like, so many people are against the LGBT community without them fighting among themselves as well.
Mhm.
It's time where unity is so strong right now. It's needed.
Mhm.
Unity is needed, and
Yeah,
that
and
makes no
the worst
sense.
thing is, the horrible thing is like so many people are like, when I put on Twitter like about trans rights, they're like, don't you have enough rights as it is? No, we have rights, but we don't have as much rights as our fellow gay men, as our fellow lesbians, our fellow bisexuals. The trans community is the one community that is the most targeted in hate crime.
It makes zero sense, no sense, and if you ask these people why, if you simply just ask them why, you won't get a good answer. You just get them going, oh, well, it's wrong. Why? Elaborate. Tell us, try and give us a logical reason because I can't think of one. Like, you've got people just going about their lives, trying to trying to find some form of happiness in their own lives, which is difficult in the best of times. Never mind when you've got people like your thoughts for literally doing nothing. They're being targeted for sweet FA. You can do nothing wrong, do nothing to someone, they'll come over to you and hit you. And that, I don't understand that at all.
But I don't want to hit me.
No, no.
This like not just because obviously I wrestle, but I grew up in a I grew up in a really rough area. I'm from Lee Park, we're a very notorious community. So I've had to learn to fight. I've had to learn to look after myself. I've had to learn to defend myself. So it's not me bigging myself up. Just don't hit me. Just don't hit me. I'm from Lee Park. I might stab you. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Although if that porn star turned up, I wouldn't hold you back.
This
Will
is
not hold you back.
exactly what Chris K said. He asked me where I was from when I was doing a show, and I said I'm from Lee Park. He went, "Blimey hell!" And we've not even been stabbed yet. I was like, I was like, "Oh my god, are we really that bad?"
I thought
Yes,
I'd
no,
go
there's been like 4 stabbings in a matter of a week in Lee Park. It's that horrible. Yeah.
I thought it was bad over here.
It's horrible. Yeah, it's horrible. But yeah, so just people should just leave people alone. Just let them be themselves.
That's
It's not the
difficult enough.
1920s. Language.
Life's difficult enough. People go through enough hell without being targeted for nothing at all. So just be happy, love people, be nice. It's a lot more effort to be a dick than it is to be nice. Be nice.
And I see a lot of and this is a little lesson to some of the community and some of the people. Don't face someone that's being a bully with their own weapons. Don't bully them. Don't treat them with kindness. That's what's going to hurt them the most, is the fact that they're going to sit here and be like, "But I've just been mean to you. Why are you being nice?" That will play with their head. Trust me. It works so many times. Take it from someone from Lee Park. I smiled when I got beat up and I said thank you. And they were like, "What?"
Can you imagine that?
And now then same people that actually beat me up are some of my close friends.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. They literally do not let anyone say a bad thing about me.
Good.
Because they respected me,
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm like that. Like if someone say it's online on social media or in a game or something like that, like if they're being an arse, like just toxic, I'll just turn around and be nice. Or like, over the top, ridiculously happy or kind.
Mm-hmm.
And it proper gets to them. They hate it. And it's so fun. Just winding people up. I do enjoy winding people up. If they're gonna be a dick.
I was on a stream, Yubo, just having fun, because I'm a weirdo. I'm still a kid at heart. And someone turned around and said that I'm a man. So like, okay. But just kept feeding into it, said you'll never be a woman, stuff like this. So I just replied to them and I was just like, "Listen here, love, right? I'm more man than you'll ever be. I'm more of a woman than you'll ever get." And he was like, "Oh." Go on. He's crashed and burned.
I love it. I absolutely love it. The sass is brilliant.
The sass is real. Like, a lot of people think that, you see, I'm not a bitch, but I can be bitchy. So that's something you need to take. I'm not a bitch, I can be bitchy. Like it takes a lot for me to be bitchy, and like the sass is real. You know, a lot of people just think sometimes it's just an act, but I'm the most down to earth person. But if you piss me off, I'm gonna make it known.
Mm-hmm.
And but I do it in a fun way. I don't do drama. So like normally you're just out of my life, that's it, gone, dusted. Um, but I can be just ask my best friend. I'm a bitch to him all the time. I don't know
Oh,
how
I'm
he lives with
awful.
me.
I'm awful. I sent a friend a message today that got misinterpreted. I was being, I was just being bitchy, just out of nowhere, sarcastic, completely sarcastic, bitchy. It kind of got misinterpreted, so I had to explain myself. So like when we met up, she gave me a couple of slaps across the head, and I think we were even, yeah. But
It
I
sounds
can
like
be a bit.
me.
It's great. It's great.
I'm a sarky person. I'm a sassy
Mm.
person. Like it's just. But I'm also like my personality is like still want to jack the lads.
Mm.
And like, so a lot of people, so a lot of the girls don't like me because I'd sit here and I'd laugh with the lads, like when they talk about their misses or anything like this, and I'll sit there and I'm laughing. I'm like, you have to realize I grew up with men.
Yeah.
Okay, I never grew up around women. Like,
Yeah.
except me mum, but like my family were mostly men, so I grew up around my cousins and being a bit of a rebel. Won't say the
Mm.
stuff that I did because I don't want my career to end.
Ah.
um, you know, it involves at 12 years old getting tattoos and drinking in parks.
Okay.
At 12, I was a bit of a so I was a very naughty kid, which is why I don't
Well,
go clubbing.
with the area you grew up in, I'm not surprised.
So, you know, my friends are like, "Do you want to go to the pub or do you want to go out clubbing? Do you want to get drunk?" And I was like, "No, drinking's boring." They're like, "What?" And I'm like, "I've been doing it since I was like 12 years old. You know, like I used to go to the local park with a bottle of Frosty Jacks with all my
Frosty
mates and just
Jacks.
uh, yeah, that's how
Frosty
old I was.
Jacks. Yeah,
But yeah, no. Oh,
the Frosty Jacks. That I'm quite thankful that's one thing I didn't do because I that's PTSD that I don't have. I have enough PTSD. I don't have the Frosty Jacks PTSD.
I love Frosty Jacks. I still do. I had a can. Not that I drink that much, but I had a can of it a while ago, and I was like, "This takes me back." You know, this takes me back sitting on a park bench listening to DJ Cammy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Listen, hey.
Old or MC Burberry.
We had MC Smalley around where I was. Don't know if you had MC
Mm,
Smalley. But
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like
End
I'm
up.
end ups. Yeah, I'm 26 on the 19th of November. You're taking me back to my childhood here. I didn't listen to any
Hey,
of
my
them.
childhood too. I'm 24.
I didn't I was into more heavy stuff, but like that was like still like NWs and all the MC stuff, and that was like huge when I was a kid.
You see, I'm more. I see. I reverted. Like I'm more heavy stuff now
Mm.
because like right now it's like all about falling in reverse and like just Ronnie Radke is just. Don't want to say too much because I don't want Paige to kill me. His voice is just out of this world. Like yeah. But no, like stuff like Falling in Reverse and Slipknot and um, Evanescence was another one. Back when I was a kid, I used to play Call of Duty to that.
Yeah, no.
Mania. That was my zombie song back on Black Hot.
I, I was on Zombies the other day, on Kino, the first map. Oh my God, we almost instantly died because we haven't played it in like a decade. So I was terrible at it. But yeah, it took me back, man. That took me back. That was, oh yeah. Nostalgia at its highest. Massive nostalgia. Um, but yeah, you mentioned earlier about Nyla Rose. I wanted to ask because she must be not only an inspiration, but I can imagine that like kind of being a goal for you to reach that status as well. that Nyla's hit because she's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, so I'll always also mention the other trans woman that is a professional wrestler over in the States that is probably, I met her before Nyla Rose, and like I'm like, oh my god, like, you know, she was like, Nyla Rose is a big inspiration for what she's succeeded, but like in terms of personal inspiration and just someone to look up to, Mariah Marino, you know, the bloodthirsty vixen.
Might have to look her up. Might have
Oh,
to look her up. Yeah.
she's amazing. So yeah, her and Nyla were the first two trans women that I actually found out were professional wrestlers. Spoken to the both of them, and that's what I was like. Okay, I'm gonna do it. So yeah, the status that Nyla's at would be absolutely amazing. You know, I have goals to go into Impact. Um, my dream will always be the WWE. Like, I'm never going to not want to. You know, it's been my dream since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other places to go now as well. So you know, if say like I could be told in 5 years' time, that's it, I'm signed by the WWE. But tomorrow I could be signed with Impact Wrestling or AEW. I'd be a fool not to take it.
Oh.
Can you just imagine the matches between like me and Jade Cargill or me and Jordan Grace?
Oh, she's brilliant.
Like, you know, the opportunities are endless. I don't just want to single, and this is what I've always been working towards, one promotion. And when I trained it, just one promotion and trying to get on just their shows. You know, this is back when I was with Rev Pro. Don't want to go into it too much. No longer there at the moment. Would I go back? Maybe once I'm gonna like people see me fit good enough to be on the main shows. I wouldn't want to go back to be a trainee there. I faced a lot of discrimination and disrespect from fellow other trainees, never the promoters, never the coaches. So I take my hat off to that. So I'm not slanting RevPro. I just had disrespect from people that I trained with. And so and the thing is, they were classed as veterans as well, compared, even though they were like around the same age, but they've been training a lot longer. And so, yeah, I had a bit of disrespect there. So I was like, I nearly hung up the boots for good. And I was like, no, I'm not going to let that. So, like, to me, I'm not going to just fight for one place. My goal is to literally, sure, WWE would be nice, but I want to go everywhere. And when I say, like, you know, I want to go New Japan, I want to wrestle in Eve, I want to wrestle in WAW. Like, the list is endless. You know, like, as long as it's not a promotion that has some really bad safeguarding issues, that, you know, that care about their talent, that look after their talent and stuff like this, I'd want to wrestle there.
Yeah.
That's my goal, is to wrestle in pretty much nearly every British promotion that are on a good standpoint, because I'd refuse to work somewhere that so I know some promotions, some promoters can be quite homophobic. So there's something that I would never work for someone that's a homophobe.
Well, yeah.
So, or a racist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I fell out of a friend because of that.
No need. No, there's no need. There's absolutely no need. When it comes to respect and looking out for your talent, I live in the northwest, just outside of Manchester, give or take. But Future Shock and LWF, LWF is later on tonight, as of recording. Those two, I can't say enough I can't praise enough
If you could stop
personally.
saying on my list to go, I'd love to go. Where else? World War Wrestling,
Mm, okay.
um, Catch Pro.
Going there next week for the first time. Should be good. Looks like a solid card as well.
So, because they need someone pretty on their team. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Lizzie, you're gorgeous. No, they need someone that's gonna give Lizzie a run for her money.
Think she needs that. I love Lizzie.
No,
Can't-
she's great, absolutely amazing. I but this isn't me being biased because we're friends. I think if we're going to talk about some of the best female wrestlers that are about today, like in the indie scene in the UK, it's Sky Smithson's number one.
Who did you say? Sorry.
Sky Smithson.
Uh, can't say I'm familiar. I'm I'm one of those where we try and get to where we can. Like I've just, got myself a job.
Yeah,
So money's been
very
very
understandable.
tight. So I
And
go, if anybody who knows me, I'll go wrestling anywhere, everywhere with my mum. Me and my mum. We go Future Shock and LWF are the main ones for us. So it's usually just like kind of like what's close to us. So when they were kind of outside that, it can be difficult to get there.
yeah, no, I get
There's
that. I get
a
that.
fair few that I've not seen, but there's a few that I want to.
But there's a good excuse, but there's always YouTube too.
Oh, 100%.
I
100%.
recommend looking at Sky. Like she's top notch talent. She's absolutely incredible.
Sky. I'm sure I've seen her on Twitter. I'm positive I know her from Twitter. I am
Hmm.
positive I know Sky from Twitter. Positive. Is
Yeah,
this?
she's current World War Wrestling Women's champion.
Yeah, I know Sky from Twitter. Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
who else? Let's talk about this. Let me mention this name. Someone that is climbing through the ranks really quick as well. Um, and that is Harley Hudson.
I love her. She is a future star. She's a star already, but
Yeah,
she's the next big thing in my opinion.
I am.
She's got everything.
I didn't mean to call her by her shoot name. Uh,
I can edit that
I was
out. Don't
like,
worry.
uh, yeah, yeah. Harley Hudson is absolute. She's phenomenal. Her physique is great. She's nearly catching up to me, which we can't have. But I'm actually sure she's smaller than me. Yeah, she's shorter than me, so that's okay too.
She is
But no,
short, yeah, but she's oh my god, like she's at IWF tonight against Kelly Van Ness, and I can't wait. It's gonna be an
she's
amazing
gonna be
match.
great. So yeah, Harley Hudson is definitely someone to look out for.
100%. The women right now are killing it, absolutely killing it. Like women's wrestling right now, you have people like Tonga making waves. Tonga's fantastic. The Lizzie, Lizzie. Talk about someone who went from great to just up there overnight. Lizzie Evo, in my opinion, is one of those that's ready for big time in my eyes.
Hmm.
I think she's up there personally. Like you get rest, you see, when you watch wrestlers in the world, there's one in the ring. Sorry, there's one word that I kind of think of, and that's presence. She has presence, really, and sky's the limit.
Talking about someone that's gone from indies to up there, Jamie Hayter.
Yeah, yeah.
Because 1 minute we heard that she had an NXT UK tryout, and then the next minute she's now a permanent roster member on AEW,
Yeah, killing
and
it as
I'm
well.
like, girl. So if you know, her and Sky Smithson, definitely the independent wrestlers that I very admired and very was inspired by. Um, because we have the similar wrestling background. We prefer that hard hitting than high flying. Um, so these two women are definitely who I looked up to, and Sky Smithson, AEW needs to pick her up. Like she's she's phenomenal. She's not the best female wrestler. She's the best wrestler. Like man, woman, don't care. She's the best. She's on that level. She's the best out of both. Um,
High praise, high praise.
Very high praise. I will always speak highly of Sky, and Jamie Hayter. That before Jamie was on AEW, we spoken, and I like these two people fed me the best advice that people of their statures can give someone that's so early in their career.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I had trained with, a lot of my coaches actually compared to the way that my attitude is towards wrestling with Jamie. That passion, that strive, is something that I would never lose. So these two women are big time inspirations. This. I'm gonna build them high horse even more. They're on the same level as Beth Phoenix and China for my in my inspirations. Like that's big.
That's huge.
That's big praise.
That's huge. That's massive. Like, two of the all-time greats. Like, who's to say they can't reach those heights? I'd heard Jamie Hayter's name before AEW, but I'd never seen her. And I watched her on AEW, and she's a standout talent. And that's putting it mildly.
I don't think
Mildly.
she should be in this TBS championship. I think she should be in the AEW Women's Championship. Like, she needs to portray Britt Baker and take that gold, because Britt Baker was actually her first opponent on AEW, I believe.
Personally, for me, same goes for Adam Cole, same goes for Britt Baker's personal thing for me. They get babyface pops, but it's supposed to be massive heels. Like Britt Baker's meant to be the biggest heel, but the DMD, she gets babyface pops, and I guess that's a lot due to the fans, but I personally believe they could kind of try and double down on the heel aspect, if you get me.
Yes, no, I get you. But that's something that I would like actually, is to still get that pop even as a heel, because I look at myself as someone that you just love to hate.
Hmm.
You just love me because like to hate me. Like, so you're gonna like Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella was a fucking all-time heel. Um,
Underrated,
and
in my eyes.
she got cheered because she's loved. Like they just love to hate her. And I don't think I get a lot of wrestling, and this is me talking as a fan, not a wrestler. Like we always got told, "Oh, you boo the heels, you cheer the baby faces," and I was always that kid in the wrestling crowd that booed the baby faces and cheered the heels. Like, come on, like I just like to cheer. Like if they do great work, then they get a cheer.
I'm very old fashioned, I guess, when I'm watching wrestling. But at the same time, as Chris Brooker says, learn the rules to break the rules. Like sometimes a heel can be so over that the fans just simply can't boo them. But then that's
Mhm.
when you look at them and think, right, okay, maybe a babyface turns in order here if they're being cheered that much. Of course, look at the Miz. Sometimes that just doesn't work. But that's something down the line that you look at, right? We're not getting a heel reaction here, we're getting a face reaction. Turn them. So there's always like that little element to
I
it.
always say that any reaction is better than a no reaction.
True, true. Yeah. You don't want to be in the ring with people sat on their hands.
Hmm. So I know I get a mixture. I get people cheer me, I get people boo me. So
Yeah, I see a few things. I get I've been to a few shows where it's been quite difficult to get a chance going, crowd's been quite quiet, but usually at those shows they're enjoying the show. You just have a lot of either new fans there or families who have brought the kids and the parents might not necessarily know the product because they brought the children. So you're gonna mix with a few things, but it can make for a potentially quite audience because they're unfamiliar. So
yeah.
I've been to a few shows like that, but that just means you have to try a little bit harder to make noise, which I'm happy with. I'm happy being loud.
I just love how like this interview's just gone into just us talking.
I like those types. Like that's what I try in my interviews because it's nice. It's nice and organic. I like it being organic.
Just natural.
Yeah. Um, I got a contentious question, and it is a question that shouldn't be contentious. It should be normal. But every time it's brought up, there's always that little department that isn't really a fan. I was just curious, what's your opinion on intergender wrestling? Because I personally don't see an issue. I was just curious.
I fucking love it.
Ah, yes.
I just this is what do you know what someone said this to my Twitter yesterday. They was like, are you not worried about the male strength that you have? And I was like, no, wrestling's an art. And they were like, so wrestling, they were like, wrestling's not real. Okay, right. We always come to the term like, wrestling's not real.
Mm,
But it's as real as they can get, like
mm,
I've not had a concussion or anything like that because it's not real. I've been booted straight in the face. Oh, but
yeah.
it's not real.
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
but to me, it's like, and I've never heard anyone else describe wrestling the way that I do. To me, wrestling's like your favorite action movie, live right in front of you. And people are okay when Lara Croft or Trinity from the Matrix get beat up by men, but they're always on back. They're always on top again. But yet they seem that wrestling is not okay. I get that a lot of people, because I was shocked when I'd found out that you weren't really going to beat actually someone up in wrestling when I was like 15.
Ah,
Um, but we get that. But to me, wrestling is a fine art. It's sports, it's entertainment, it's acting, it's everything. It's an action movie live. And so
I love that.
wrestling is an action movie.
I love that. I love that. That's bloody brilliant. I'm stealing that.
1,000 pounds.
It's recorded, so I can't get away with that, can I? Oh, fantastic stuff. Like, that's brilliant. I've never really heard of it explained that way. I love that. Yeah. The reason I kind of thought of that question was I knew someone would bring that up. What
Mhm.
you said, like someone said to you, are you not worried about your male power coming in, whatever? I knew someone was. So I wanted to ask that question because there's like wrestling is there's curtain's been pulled back. Wrestling is scripted. Curtain has been very much released.
Yeah, it's been that way for ages.
Yeah,
There's no point. Like, we still try to keep kayfabe.
yeah, yeah. I mean, why not?
Actually.
But
I wish it wasn't. I wish that people didn't really see into the art of wrestling. Um,
yeah,
but
I get what
unfortunately,
you mean.
WWE's done that. WWE's ruined it all.
They do some great documentaries. I've kind of, soured on because of the many, 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 many releases, but that's a topic for another time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but uh, it's an art, and the difference with wrestling is that the two people or three people or four people or how many are in the ring, they've agreed to what's going on. They know. It's not like they get into a ring like, what's happening? Or the fans are here, that's great, what we're doing. But they know. So it's not like they've been like forced into like, you, big guy, you've got to beat the shit out of her. They it's an art. It's an art form. Whether
Wrestling is
it's man on man, woman on woman, man on woman, woman on man, who it,
a non-binary person on a man or a woman.
there you
We
go.
don't forget
Makes no
that
sense.
non-binary people are valid.
Yeah, everyone's valid in your own way. Simply
Hmm.
put, simple as that, everyone's valid in their own way.
No matter your sexuality, your
Mm.
race, your gender identity, everyone's valid.
It's natural because it's in here.
Hmm.
Simple as that. That's as not if it's in here, that's as natural as it comes, right? Told them. Intergender wrestling is great. I was at TNT Extreme Fields and there was a 5 person um and it's sort of 5 person started off with two, then more and more and more, then it's five and
That's
then
another
for a
promotion
briefcase.
I aim for.
Like it was intergender. Like Harley Hudson won and got the briefcase, and it was awesome. I loved it. And not once did I bat an eyelid or blink at the fact that, oh, look, there's women and men. In fact, I thought, oh, great, that's awesome. There's women and men in the same match. Brilliant. I love it. Intergender wrestling is great. It has a place. Yeah, I remember a brother and sister were booked in a match, and wrestling Twitter went in a meltdown because people are going, oh, it promotes domestic violence. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. So in a TV show or film, if a brother and sister fight, that promotes domestic violence. You see a lot of shit concocted on Twitter.
Yeah, see, but and this is why I describe wrestling like an action movie. These
Hmm.
same people that are like, that's domestic violence. One, don't put that into it. Like, some people have unfortunately been through that.
Hmm.
So to me, some people may not want to wrestle a man, and that's okay. Like,
Yeah.
that's totally okay. It's your choice. Um, but these same people are people that sit there and believe King Harry Potter is real. Like, these same people are people that sit there and believe a man in tights with an S on his chest is going to save the day. Like, these people watch action movies and are in it. And a lot of action movies, a lot of the villains are women. Especially
Hmm.
now, a lot of them are women. No one moaned when look at the Avengers. No one moaned when Black Widow got beat up. They loved it because she then kicked their ass.
Hmm.
So, okay, is that promoting this? No. This is where I came up with the way to describe wrestling. It's an action movie. So, and I've said this to a lot of people that think intergender wrestling shouldn't happen. And when I describe it as this, like, it's just an action movie, they're like, okay. And then they take that sit back and like, okay, yeah, maybe it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Like, no matter the gender, no matter the race, no matter what, the bad guy will get the upper hand on the good guy for a large period of time, and the good guy will come back because that is storytelling, and that's not just wrestling. That's good guy, bad guy.
It's just your average action movie plot.
No one will give a damn about James Bond if he just walked out there. So long, everyone. Bye. He needs to. He needs to get beaten and beaten and beaten, but until then overcome. Like Black Widow got beat down, beat down, beat down, but her smarts and the fact that she's a badass, she'd overcome. No one cares about a good guy if he just dominate and that no, they don't face any hardship. It's the hardship that makes people care. And that's why people soured on Roman for so long, is because for so long he didn't have that hardship, that struggle. I love Roman. I think he's a phenomenal talent. Now that he's found his niche. But the good guy needs to be knocked down and knocked down to then overcome. I just hit my mic. Simple good guy, bad guy storytelling, and it works with intergender wrestling if a woman's getting beaten and beaten. And then she looks like a badass, strong bitch rising up and beating the shit out of him.
I mean, look at Jordan Grace.
She's insane. She's a specimen. My days, how did you get that?
Yeah, I know
How?
she is body. She's just body goals.
She's insane.
I'm like, can I have her body, please? I want it now.
She doesn't give a damn either. Like she's just happy doing whatever she wants. And that is goals. To just be able to go out and not care about anybody else thinks. Just be happy.
She'll always be happy.
Always. Always, always. Never dim someone's light because you personally aren't a fan. Just leave them be. Simple as that. I got a curious question. I've asked it to a few other people as well. It's a hypothetical question. You are in the main event of Mania. It can be any match you want. Male or female, who's your dream opponent to take to the main event of Mania?
This is so easy, and everyone is always so shocked with my answer. If he was still signed, it would be me and Braun Strowman.
Wow. I didn't. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. I didn't expect that. Why Braun?
Braun Strowman's a beast, right? I respect his work as well, like absolutely amazing. Braun Strowman is also one of the biggest guys, and to prison talk, to be top dog, you got to beat the biggest guy. So imagine
Very
if I
true.
beat Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
Imagine and like just think that what that would do as well. Like, and this we're talking about intergender wrestling. This is something that WWE really needs to bring back. Is intergender wrestling, because I would have loved Nia Jax to win the men's rumble and challenge for the Universal Championship. Now imagine if it was Nia Jax versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the Universal title.
I think one of the reasons why WWE are too hesitant to do it is because of sponsors. Like, I think that'll mainly be the reason because people would probably, about 70-odd-year-old white men, won't be
Yeah,
happy
I
with
really hope
seeing that stuff.
AEW intergender wrestling.
I'd absolutely love to see it. I'd love to see a match, say Sasha Banks and Dolph, like something like that. Two absolute mad workhorses. Sasha Banks and Seth Rollins. I can mention Seth Rollins purely for the banter. It, it's great, and kind of a little bit kind of went there with the mixed match challenge, but men
Let
aren't
me,
allowed
let
to
me
touch
just
women.
make one statement, one intergender match that I really, really want to see between two of the best high flyers. Io Shirai versus Rey Mysterio.
She does the tiger feint kick as well, don't she?
Battle of the
Ooh.
Tiger Feints.
Oh yes, yes. I'm kind of I know it's not gonna happen in WWE, so I'm kind of sad you put it
Well,
up because
maybe
that
I
is
need to be a promoter.
oh my lord. Oh, that just sounds in my veins now. Do it. Do it. I want it. I want it now.
Even if it's just a little training video.
Yeah, I want it now. How the bloody hell is Ray in that shape at that age?
I know.
He's in the shape of his career, like in his peak in WWE, like mid 2000s ish. He had a little bit on him. He was never the muscliest. A little, yeah. Now he's an absolute monster. He's an animal,
Trust.
mental,
And
and
let me talking about Mysterio, Dominic. That kid is Eddie Guerrero will be so freaking proud. Remember, people, if you lived in WWE back when I was a kid, it was told Eddie was Dominic's dad.
yes, holy shit, like oh, is that it was his last match, wasn't it? That ladder match. Oh my god.
But yeah, no, Eddie would be so proud of both of them.
Oh, 100%, yeah. 100%. The match, oh, Eddie Guerrero. Oh, you mentioned
And,
China earlier as well. Eddie and
and I
China.
really hope, right, that this is what they're going to do because I really want to see a Dominic versus Rey Mysterio match. But I
Yeah.
really hope they pick up on that Eddie Guerrero storyline back in the day and Dominic be like, "You're not my dad.
I
My dad is
wouldn't
dead."
be opposed to that just to see how mental it would get. That would get mad. So I won't be opposed to it just to see like just how far it would go.
I want wrestling back into the Attitude Era. Skip the bra and panties. We don't want that stuff anymore. Like, even though I'd look really good in a bra and panties match. But we don't want that. But if we go back to the Attitude Era with the women's division that we have, with the men's divisions that we have, you know, and these women doing 5, 10, 15-minute matches, not 2-minute shit, right? Because that's not women's evolution. It's just get the women out of the way. Do you know what I mean? Um, that's what, unless the Attitude Era is really inspired the gimmick of the Notorious Angel, because like if you see a lot more of me, and you'll see a lot more of me because I have so many bookings coming up for 2022. I'm also on the peak of my career. I'm having a women's championship match next week, and it's my fourth professional wrestling match for a women's title. So that is huge, and like you watch me and you watch the way that I wrestle, you watch the way that I walk, the way that I talk, the way that I act. It's very much attitude era,
Hmm.
and that's something that you don't see a lot of. Like, I'm a girl, but I can hang with the big guys.
I like it. I
I
like it a
throw a,
lot.
I
Yeah.
throw a punch like Conor McGregor.
Notorious. There you go. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. I mean, you've got like some of the. I mean, when it comes to talent, or when it comes to wrestling, not just the big leagues, but in general at the moment, we're in the best era of wrestling I think ever right now. And we are in a stunning era of wrestling. So when it comes to talent, it doesn't. It isn't enough nowadays to just be good in the ring anymore because and that's a massively great indictment on how good wrestling is right now because we need more and more and more because so many people are just so good right now.
For this is something that I can't remember who said it, but this is something that I always heard and got told is to be a good wrestler, you have to be good at it in the ring. To be a great wrestler, you have to have the ring skills, the mic skills, and know how to work a crowd.
Look at Zach Gibson. There you go. Zach Gibson is one of the best in the world at every foundation that you can bring up. He's one of the best.
Let me talk about that, like on that subject of having all three. People are gonna over people, and I always say this because she doesn't deserve the amount of hate that she gets. But the best female wrestler in the freaking world is Charlotte Flair. Great ring work, great mic skills, and knows how to work a motherfucking crowd. Like
Charlotte
she's
Flair is someone who has been Roman Reigns by the WWE's booking to the point where like no women have been no stars, only less than a handful of stars have been made outside of the likes of Becky and Charlotte and Bailey and Sasha, and you've got your Bianca there and things like that. But Charlotte has been like title after title after title, ridiculous amount of titles. If they reined that in and they didn't have her as dominant, I don't think people would have that hatred of her.
mm-hmm.
I don't dislike Charlotte. I love her. I think genuinely she's one of the best in the world, male or female. I think she's that good. It's the booking that I don't like. That's the issue in my eyes. She's phenomenal. Like try and find bad matches of Charlotte. It's a rarity. It really is. She is a phenomenal talent.
And that's what there's so many of my coaches when I'm stuck in how, when I was stuck in how like the way that I should walk, the way that I should talk, a lot of people would actually take some inspiration from Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair, not the hot entire gimmick, obviously, but the Charlotte Flair type of gimmick would really suit someone with your look, your statuus. And I'm just like, okay. And that's what I like about Charlotte Flair is that she is very attitude era.
I can see that. I can see that. That elucidate a bit in the mic.
She's very Lita and Trish Stratus and
a modern version. Like that would be a dream match in and of itself, her versus China. Like that is one of the dream matches. Like when you put like like
the next China, for me, we should have the Angel versus Charlotte Flair.
There we go. There we go.
No, I'm not the next China. Just want to. I wouldn't. No one can ever beat China.
Oh, China, she's no words. She's quite good. It's.
I've got a book.
Yeah. She's fantastic. Fantastic. And I'd have loved to have seen her longevity last a lot longer, do we? But it is what it is.
Yeah.
We've kind of touched on this throughout the podcast. I was going to ask, do you have any goals or aspirations going forward in the near or far future? We've kind of touched upon it.
Yeah. Like my goal is to just right now is be the best goddamn wrestler that the British promotion, like the British indie thing, has ever bloody seen. End goal would be obviously WWE. But before I do WWE, I wanna wrestle in like Impact and Ring of Honor and places like this. So NXT UK is my end goal. Nearer to the end goal. Obviously, the WWE main roster is my end goal. But yeah, my life goal is just to be the best goddamn wrestler that's anyone's seen. You know, I want my name on the PWI list. I want to be number one. I'm a very, very ambitious woman. And even after wrestling, touch metal, if I'm ever have to retire, that like I'd never want to stop with the wrestling business. I want to be one of the best promoters around. You know, I'll have my own wrestling promotion. I'll have my own wrestling school. Like, but that's like distant in the future when I'm old and wrinkly. Because let's face it, I want to be wrestling and taking bumps like Mae Young was. 80 years old, going through a table.
You gotta respect that, and I respect your ambition.
I want a career like The Undertaker. You know, I want to wrestle in my prime. I want to wrestle when I'm in my 50s. As long as I'm all good and healthy, I will keep wrestling. You know, to have a career like The Undertaker, to have a career like The Rock, to have a career like Mickey James, Trish Stratus, China, Beth Phoenix, to have something like that is my life goal.
Okay. And there are some names as well. Mickey James is just incredible.
Mickey
Just
James
incredible.
don't follow me on Twitter.
She won't follow you on Twitter.
She still doesn't. And I beg her up.
Who needs
so
her
much.
anyway? Who needs
I'm
her?
joking. I love her really.
Amber, is there anything you'd like to plug? Plug anything? Any social media shows? Anything you'd like to plug for the future?
Just follow my Twitter. Especially, I'm mainly active on Twitter. Follow. A lot of people will be like, follow my journey. Like, but with me, I'm very open. So follow my Twitter, follow my Facebook, follow my Instagram, follow my Twitch. This all D'Amber Joe. Obviously, my Twitter is D'Amber _Joe _pro. But don't just follow my journey, follow my transition. Like, come on this ride with me, you know, follow my career, follow my transition as a woman. Because I'm so open, and a lot of wrestlers don't open up into some of their personal life, but I like that. I like to act as if I'm a reality TV star. It would be no different if I'm being filmed on Total Divas. So that's what I like. Talking about reality TV, I will be on I am filming a little project next year, so can't say too much, but I will be on your TV screens very soon. I will be wrestling in some of it. But I thought I'd just give that a little tease. Unfortunately, COVID's postponed it for a year. But I'm your next Kim Kardashian in the wrestling world.
Yeah, that'll get over.
Gosh, that's actually one thing that I'm so gutted that they don't do anymore with Total Divas, because I would have been absolutely, would have loved. That was my dream, just to go on Total Divas. I even had the idea to pitch me and my best friend Curtis to pitch an idea of a spin-off, but because I'm a plonker, I am the biggest plonker ever. Like, I'm a nut job. I had the idea to call it Total Dickheads. So it's just like, you have no idea, especially my autism. I'm so fun. Like, there's just certain things. We were in the lift today because we live on the 9th floor of a flat. And just, so obviously with autism, like, I'm a lot young. My mental age is a lot younger than what I am. So just because I had to, I pressed all the little buttons in the list because I just had to. I still sleep with a teddy. I'm gonna like this is embarrassing myself, but you know I sleep with a teddy. Ian's like there's pictures of me sucking my thumb because I'm just a plonker. Like honestly, I walks into branches and I'm like sat there going, "Where are you? Where the fuck did you come out from?" It's just, but no. So I need my own TV. I need my own reality show. I'm telling you this.
Yes, please. And that.
This
And
is just,
I don't watch too much reality TV, but I'd watch that.
the wrestling and transition, and then just me being a plonker. Like I was. I know we're supposed to wrap this up, but you know Rain, right? From Scotland.
Um,
Rain.
mm,
She is a female wrestler in
yes.
Scotland.
Yeah.
I was on the phone to her, good
Mm-hmm.
friend of mine. And this is why I would call it total dickheads, is because I rang her at 11 o'clock at night and she was like, a bit tired. And I was like, oh my God, did I wake you up? What time is it over there? I asked the time in Scotland and she turned around and was like, we're in the same time zone. I'm like, no, we're not, are we? I was like, I'm in England. She's like, yeah, I'm in Scotland. No, I'm in England. And I was like, but it takes 6 hours to get there. So technically, when I'm leaving from England, I'm 6 hours like I'm in Scotland and I'm arriving 6 hours. So therefore, you're 6 hours in front of me. She's like, it doesn't work like that. And
Oh wow.
I wasn't even drunk.
Maybe change that story and say you were.
Yeah, this is why it's called Total Dickheads. And I apologize about my language. I'm old fashioned.
Don't worry about
I don't
that. Don't worry
care.
about it.
You, you
It's
can
fine.
judge me. I don't. You know, people can judge me. I am who I am. I speak my mind.
I'm perfectly happy with swearing on this show.
Just as long as it's not my favorite word, right?
Um,
As long as it's not my favorite word.
What's it? What's your favorite word? What's that?
If it's not allowed in the podcast, then you can cut it out. Cunt.
And that's my favorite word too.
It is my favorite word.
And on that bombshell.
Right. Well, thank you for coming.
I'm Joe. Thank you. It's been a absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming on.
Pleasure for mine. I'm not like the other people that interview. They're so serious. No offense to them. It's like I'm on a talk show with me.
I love it. It's organic. That's the great thing. That's what I love. It makes it easier for me. So, thank you. And thank you very much as well. See you later.
Thank you.